the echo, but you told me it was good on your end, so I was just running with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But look, just long story short, man, we've been just chopping it up like we talking stuff, man. We gotta interview you and let you know we just start chopping it
Yeah,
up like
what
a
you
normal
know?
conversation. You know?
Yeah. And you know, Wealth is gangster though. You know,
Yeah.
I got my shirt on and everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah,
love. I appreciate you. I appreciate you
yeah,
repping, man.
man. I
So
appreciate you for having me on, man.
we just did a 30-minute thing that we had a little technical difficulty, but the information that we talked about is always real, like every conversation we always
Always,
have.
always, brother.
But just
Always real, man.
welcome to the Wealth Gangster channel. Tell us, let the people know who you are. You know what I'm saying, what you're about, and we'll start off. First, just introduce yourself, and then I'll start off with my first question.
All right, man. My name Corey Waff, man. You know, I'm originally I was raised in Killeen, Texas. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know, some family in Temple, Texas. You know, I got a little family all over the place, you know, spread out. I always, you know, when I started out, you know, as a young man, I was out there, you know, in the streets, getting in trouble, you know, just making bad decisions like anybody else.
Yeah,
And you know, but I always knew it was something else. I didn't know really what it was, but they used to always be like, "Stop preaching so much. You always preaching, bro." And I'd be telling my home, we might be smoking a blunt. And I'm telling them, nah, man, like it's something bigger than this. But I just didn't know what the big picture was at the time. But
yeah,
anyway, it led me to like, you know, it just put it on my heart. I felt like my calling was talking to people or trying to help like the younger generation not go the direction we went. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of pretty much led me to where I'm at right now. That's why I'm doing what I do, man, because I feel like I want to be an asset to the world. And you
yeah.
know, sometimes your memory can live on through what you tell people, man. So you
Yeah,
know,
the seeds you plant into people and stuff. That what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's how your
yeah,
legacy. The more people you affect and change and impact in a positive way, the longer your legacy
right,
lives. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
what? Let them know what type of work you do. I know what you do, but just tell the people like I know you deal with the youth. I mean, as
Yeah,
far as a job, I know you do it regardless. This is your heart because we talk about the stuff that we
yeah,
don't do
yeah,
outside of a job. But as far as what you do
right.
for your job, let them know. You know what field you
Okay,
in.
well, oh yeah, man. I work with the kids. I work with behavior health, you know, children with behavior problems, you know, young teenagers that going through some, you know, some of them facing depression, some of them suicidal, some of them just, you know, need a little guidance. It's a lot of them dealing with a lot of traumas from home and things they deal with. So, you know, just trying to help them build themselves back up and get the courage to push on by themselves. So, you know, I just like doing that, man, working with the young kids, man. I think they range from around like 6 to 17, man. You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
needed, man. And that's needed on a lot of levels, because some of our kids like are born with just situations where they can't really control, and then a lot of
Right,
them are just born in environments that turn them into that kind of aggression.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
So it's two
right.
different. It's two different. Well, it's maybe more than two, but those two what we're talking about is some that's just born into it, and some that's just born with with that type of disability or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's a case by case how you deal with each one, their moods, their
Hmm.
swings, their this and that. So what so did you go to school to this, or you just learned on the job? Like what? Like because
Man,
this is quote unquote a profession. You know what I'm saying?
yes, it
Like I tell
is.
people,
It
most of
is,
our
bro.
professions we don't have to go to school. Life teaches us too. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, right. So,
what
like,
side
you know,
was you on the school or life or a little bit of both or what?
nah, it's more about life, man. Because, you know, like my thing is this, like, you know, I talk about it, you know, in the book Don't Think Like Me, Just Think. I talk about that how like really your credentials is your gift. You know what I'm saying? That's your true credential. Is
Yeah,
what God put in you. You know, whatever He placed in you, that's your true credential. That's gonna open the door for you. So you know, it always been in me, like you know, just to be. It just naturally come. Like you know, I naturally know how to reach out to these kids and try to talk to them and you know give them direction from a real space. You know what I'm saying? From a space of actually experiencing it and going through it myself. So it's easier. Like let's just say, you know, an example, like, you know, I've met people who were marriage counselors who's never been married. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So when you look at it from that perspective, how can you tell me how to thrive in a relationship when you never even had that type of relationship? But when
yeah.
you got the experience of being that troubled teen before, and then you going back telling them things you learned from it, and you know, in your life and how you've grown to understand what really helps. That's the type of things like, I try to plan on their head, man, so they can see,
Yeah.
what's a better direction or whatever.
Nah, and that's real. And I try to stress that all the time because we done got so westernized that we think if you don't got their degree or their paperwork, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
and it's some
right,
things that you definitely need to go learn and really deep study. But it's certain things, especially in this type of field. This is more of a
right.
people skill. This is a people skill,
Yeah,
and
right.
because even when I had to
Yeah.
count, they was like, "Man, you so good with kids. Like, have you been to school for this? Have you did this before?" I'm like, "No, but
Your patience.
I'm a
The
people.
patience.
I
Yeah,
know how to read
yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? And I know how
Hmm.
to read
Right.
people bad when it was in like streetwise, but I know how to read people when I'm just
Hmm.
dealing with kids. I know when I need to push them a little bit more or push them a little bit less. I know when they need to be
Right,
talked to, or right now they just shut down and just leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to read
right.
those individual situations right there on the spot. And that's what I'm gifted with.
Hmm.
I'm not gifted with like no teacher's degree or nothing like that, but
Hmm. Right,
I definitely can read rooms and I can read energy. I'm a big energy person.
right,
I don't care if you're
right.
an
There you
adult
go.
or if you're an adult or you're a child, I can read your energy, and then
Yeah.
I just mess with you, portray, depending
Hmm.
on how that energy is coming.
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's a gift, and that like I said, that's a gift and that's a skill, bro.
yeah, I appreciate that. So let's talk about the book, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so tell us
Oh yeah.
what
Okay.
inspired you to write the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it, man, and I think we need to really
Yeah.
have like we definitely gonna have an Arthur's thing because I definitely want to have some at the House of
Mm.
Resources where all the Arthurs from around Central Texas, we just have an Arthur's Day and we tell the community come out support. We can even have our little
Right.
vendor
Right.
group set up. We can have a day
Hmm.
all the Arthurs from around. You know what I'm saying? Set up a vendor booth
Right. I'm
at
with
the
it.
House of Resources, and y'all come down and support these
Yeah.
artists. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna
Yeah.
have that coming soon. But just far
Yeah.
as the book, let us know like what it's about. But what before you even do that, what inspired you to even get in the mind to write a book?
Okay. Before I say that, I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm waiting on my book. I'm
Oh
still
yeah,
waiting
I
on the
got you.
streets
I
live
got
to
you.
me.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
still
what
waiting on the streets live
I
to me.
see your
You
Facebook
know
say
what
I'm
I'm
still
saying?
waiting on mine.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still waiting on my streets live to me book
I
because
got you, man.
I heard that one hard. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, man, the inspiration came, man. I think that came. It came naturally. I'm gonna be honest, man. It was more a spiritual thing, man. It came naturally, man. And um, like I said, I always knew I wanted to talk to people, and like I wanted to like give people a different perspective of things. And I kept it simple in the book, but I still feel like us as melanated people, man. Sadly, we have to be constantly reminded of what direction we need to stay focused on. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Because like we talk about all the time, most other coaches they already know how to tap in and keep going. Like sometimes we got to shake each other back and say, "Look, no, don't forget this, don't
yeah,
forget that." You know what I'm saying? So what inspired me to write it, man, was just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's not chapters, they thoughts, and it's just, I just wanted to put something out there like to wake up the people who might not even see it from that perspective because like we've been dealt with everything from a slave personality, a slave perspective from, our parents and all that. So it's, we got to make sure we keep our kids on point and anybody else that's, trying to see what direction we're going when we're doing what we're doing to keep them on in a perspective of seeing it from a woken standpoint, like, open your mind a little bit, think outside the box,
yeah.
see it for what it is. Cause that's the real truth right there, seeing it for what it is and not what we want to see it is. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's powerful, and and it's just powerful because I'm just thinking about it. Like I know it's Vic, me, you, Vic, and then I know it's some women before as like black men.
Hmm.
You and Vic are only two other black men that I know. So you know what I'm saying. So we kind of like building a little Black Arthur's a group in Central
Yeah,
Texas. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You know
but,
what I'm
but
saying? Let's
that's
do it.
another
Let's
like
do it.
we at war on so many levels, right? From the food to the education to everything, and we have to
Right, right,
attack so many different things. So that's why a lot of people say I do a lot. It's not really that. My lifestyle attacks a lot of the ways that we under attack. So it might look like I do a
right.
lot because you see me with the chickens or you see me with the thrift store. You see
Hmm.
me doing this stuff, and you're
Hmm.
like, man, T do a lot. No, we at war. We had an economic war on each one of these levels, and I'm fighting that
On
war.
each
So
one.
to me, it's the
Right.
same fight, but it's just different angles of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So what
Right, right.
to some is just regular the regular one fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
Amazingly beautiful. We need to talk, man, because we really finna take this channel off. And I need you to become part of the team. So let's link up, inbox me your number or something so we can chop it up, baby. Because I definitely got to get into that. Yeah, but for real, so to me, this is a educational fight because we have to. That's part of the propaganda. That's why it's important we do our own media. So that's why we got to make sure we got the Wealthy Gangsters and we got the Tapped In podcast. And,
Tapped In podcast. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
y'all check that out too. YouTube. Y'all check out Tapped In podcast.
Make sure y'all go subscribe. Y'all go subscribe, like, and share right now. You know what I'm saying? Go check out.
Yes, sir.
I got 2 videos on there. You know what I'm saying? So go check that out.
Yes, sir. Yeah, y'all check him out. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's family.
From the beginning when you started, before you even came with the CEO Youth League, we brought you on. I remember, man. I was like, man, this dude like is driven. He's driven, man. He gonna be a good pillar for the community, a good piece to the puzzle. Like, you know, what we talking about with the books and all that, if you think about it, bro, everything is a puzzle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even if you go back to like where you reading the word or whatever, you know, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not religious, but I know some word too, you know, and it's like you got to seek knowledge, bro. You got to search for it. It's everywhere. So it's in different books. It's in different avenues that you're going down. So like when you put your book together, you know, the other brother you just mentioned, put my book, like that's all these puzzle pieces for the mind to go to the next level of elevation, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's good that we keep ourselves tight like that. Because, you know, some people might come from a standpoint. I don't want to talk on a level like where it's like people can't understand it, but I want to talk on a level where everybody can understand it. And that's how I did the book too. I wrote it in that manner where everyone could understand it. And I kind of like put something in there for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Because there's different levels to it, bro. You got relationship problems. You got broken men, broken women. You know what I'm saying? Just different aspects of it where I put in there because I want people to get every different direction and every angle to where somebody might be dealing with depression. You know, that might be something that can help if they read that thought. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I want to come with it, man. You know what I mean?
Nah, he did a great job. And I love because I like to talk to people that live it, right? Everybody can't do it. Everybody can't say I want to help kids and then do it every day. You know, and that's not nothing against them because everybody was just not financially, you might have a job, you got other things to do. So you might want to do it, but you just can't. So that's understandable. But you, even when you was working at your other Amazon job, you like, man, I like to deal with kids, so maybe I need to go back to this other job. So at least I'll be working.
And that's what I did.
What I like to do. You know what I'm saying? You like,
that's what I did. You remember that too?
Yeah. So I respect it. That let me know you really about that because you like, if I gotta work, let me at least work doing something I like to do anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me at least be in my field where I can do something that I would do for free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, oh, yeah, he really about that because a lot of people just talk about it, but to be about it, and not to be about, but to be about it every day as a lifestyle. That's the difference. That's what I want our community to come together on. Like the like even people that was donating when I first got the building in March. Most of them most of them has faded off, right? And I understand because we're not taught. It's out. Everything is great when it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like you open up the grand opening for the business. Somebody gonna come and buy a shirt. The grand opening for this. The grand opening for the barbecue spot. But who gonna show up consistently? Who gonna show up monthly? Who gonna show up on a consistent basis where that business really can flourish and succeed? You know what I'm saying? Like when I was talking about I need help for a school in March. What happened in June, July, August? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what makes the difference. That the aftermath is what makes the difference.
To be consistent in building like that.
Right.
Say, I help you here. Here goes something. I help you. But we just think about that one time. We don't understand like other coaches. Like, no, I got to show up monthly for you. I got to show up bi-monthly, depending on what you got. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I put $10 a month because I feel like if you got a passion for trying to do this, you can come up with $10 a month. I just feel like that personally. Even if you ain't in the greatest of situations, I feel like that. You know what I'm saying? But even if
I feel what you're saying.
I can give you $10 a month, but this month all I got is $5. That's still something. That's still a mindset.
That's some type of dedication. Yeah,
And
that's still a dedicated mind state.
yeah, what's up, family?
Right,
Big Bam in here, man.
right,
Say, I was just talking about you yesterday, man. That's the brother, him and his wife. When I bought my Cornish hens, when I say I finally got to buy meat outside of the system, that's
right,
the
right.
there, you know.
Yeah, I'm
That's
loving that. I'm loving
another
that.
what? That's
We
another
need
what
that.
puzzle piece. That's another puzzle piece that we were
Yeah,
just saying, you
yeah.
know.
That fresh food, bringing that fresh food to the table. That's
Yeah.
dope. I love that.
Man, we
I
at
love
war on
that. That's
all
dope.
fronts, bro. Like I was saying, like right now, I got deodorant on from a black man that's natural. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I use toothpaste today that's from a black couple that's natural. Like,
right.
because
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to Yahweh. Yahweh said we lose from the time we get up, right? And he was like, soon you
Mm-hmm.
go wake up and go brush your teeth, you using fluoride toothpaste. You already the
Yeah,
system already beat you up before you even get started.
yeah.
Then you go
That's
throw all
so deep, but that's
that
real.
you go throw all that
That's
breakfast in you.
real.
Now you tired down because
Mm-hmm.
you done fed yourself with all this breakfast
Right.
that's holding you now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of drinking
Yep.
water and eating fruits after 12. It's just so many
Right.
ways. And I know a lot of people like that's too disciplined, but it's really not, bro. We didn't raise a culture that's so undisciplined that we think
Mm-hmm.
discipline is the hardest thing in the world. And I
For
know
real
I
though.
still have to
That's
train myself.
sad though.
Yeah, I have to
It's
train
true.
myself because I wasn't born to be I'm born to be disciplined in school and at work. That's it. Go get a job and go to
Mm-hmm.
schoul. But when it comes to
Right.
building the life and mindset and all that, we wasn't born with we have no discipline. We want it to happen right now. And if I build
Yeah.
something today, it need to be ready
Microwave.
tomorrow.
Microwavable society, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Microwavable society,
So,
man.
so talk about the mindset of doing what you do, and the stuff that we want to do, because we're doing a lot of stuff that we're not even doing what we really want to do yet. So,
Right,
and
right.
man, you done talked about it. You done talked about the job. This I would like to do more, but the job.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk
Right.
about your
Mm-hmm.
mindset on wanting to fight that fight, but still dealing with the everyday life of just trying to survive.
Man, that's like, at the end of the day, man, we all gotta live. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta live, but we gotta get to the point to where within the process of us living, it's still people need help on how to live too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't want to be here. Like I done dealt with kids that's suicidal, bro. Like they be harming themselves. They'll find a nail on the ground or something and start like scratching themselves or trying to, you know what I mean? So it's like you trying to live and then you still trying to like bring healthy a healthy atmosphere for your own family, but doing the type of work I'm doing, then you still going to your job and your work and you trying to help them stay healthy in their mind state as well. Sometimes it's draining. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's draining, man. But I think like that's not it's the type of thing, like I said, it gotta be in you, not on you, man. It's gotta be one of them type of things like you really gotta be your gift because if it's not your gift, you ain't gonna want to do it. Even if it's something I love to do, I even get frustrated sometimes. Like, let me walk out this room because these kids, they going off the chain. Like, let me take a break real quick. I'm gonna tap out real quick. Somebody else go in there. Let me go. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I have to do it. But at the same time, like that the urge to get back up and go back up in there again, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's like, doing this is just like the stepping stone to where I want to go. I want to go to the next level. I really want to go to the level where maybe I go to talk to college students or high school kids, like go to the next level with. I really want to go outside of that. But the main goal is really bossing up and being my own, working for myself, but still doing what I do,
yeah, doing the work.
still helping. Yeah, still doing the work, but just doing it for myself. But it takes steps. You know what I'm saying? That's why like I'm grateful that I was able to put the book out. I'm grateful for the podcast, and we could still help people through that, direction because a lot of people be like, well, dang, you could blow up so fast and you talk about all the BS that's going on the on the, in the social media and everything. Like if we was tapped into that, even wealth is gangster, if we was tapped into the nonsense and ignorance that's going on in the media today, our stuff would have blew up. We have so many viewers and followers, but that's not the direction I'm choosing to go. I want to go in a direction that's a natural space that I feel like the lane that we creating for ourselves right now is the lane that's gonna go full circle. Everybody gonna come back to that because it's reality. When it's real and when it's truth, it can't be changed. You see what I'm saying? That can't be changed. So eventually people gonna come back to, oh man, I want to go listen to somebody talking about the struggle or how I can get through my daughter going through this or my son going through this. Let me put them onto this podcast, Wealth is Gangster, so they can hear about how to be more financially stable. Or let me put them on Tapped In so they can hear about how this woman got through this suicidal situation and now she living and she thriving and she a millionaire or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really what it's about. Because the money phones and the guns and the drill music, all that's gonna fade, but the truth gonna always stand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And that comes and even like on the Wealth is Gangster when I'm always talking about I want to normalize even the conversation we had today. It needs to be normalized in the public. We normalize the
Right,
ratchetness. We normalize the
right.
killing each other and
Hmm.
hating on each other. We made all that normal, but just talking about building and just talking about mindset and talking about raising
Right,
standards, just talking about just to me should be just normal conversations is just the conversation we never have. So we got to normalize
right,
having these
right.
kind of conversations when the kids see the men that just, oh man, these men, they authors, they building, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why I have
Hmm.
my kids reading my book at my camp because them kids ain't never met a black man that's an author in their life. So they got to meet
Right.
when I had
That's that inspiration,
yeah,
bro.
you know what I'm saying? Like
You know
just
what
to
I'm
walk in
saying?
this building, they
Yeah.
was like, "You got this building? This your building?" Yes, you know.
Hmm.
So we don't understand that those small things are big to them because when I was that age, I
Right.
never met no black dude that had a building that I can come to go to school with. I never met
Hmm.
black men that
Right.
was book writers. I never black, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
even when
Yeah.
Hussein
That's real
today,
though.
and he
Real
had the
talk.
two-seater BMW and all that. I never met
Hmm.
a man like that at a summer camp
Yeah.
that was ran by a black man, and then another
Hmm.
melanated black man pull up with a two-seater, and he's rich off real estate.
Yeah.
And another black
Yeah.
man, they pull up and they flipping and wholesaling six figures, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
just constantly
These are
every day they
this
meeting
the
people
type of
that's like,
visuals we have to put in them. These are the type of visuals we have to plant in them, man.
yeah,
These are the type of visuals they have to see, and it has to be normalized. And like you said earlier, not to cut your wisdom anyway,
no,
but
you good.
like you said earlier, man, the conversations that we have, man, like they have to be some iron sharpen iron, man. They have to be some elevating conversations that's gonna take us to another level when we talking about things because a lot of the times we wasting time.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, most of the yeah, true, most of the time. Like instead of picking up the video games, our kids should be picking up a book, or they should be trying to learn, how to go to the next level in life when it comes to like their livelihood and how they can make their livelihood something like detrimental for their family in a good way on their own. Like what they not dependent on the system all the time, or they not, you know what I'm saying? Like when you say you raising chickens and you doing like stuff like that, the honeybees, all that, bro, like that's the type of stuff has to be normal because if you think about it, man, from back then to now, that was a normal thing back then. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? That was a normal thing back then for black people. We always wanted to make sure we had our own piece of land. We was tilling our land out when they gave it to us or when we was able to get it. You know what I'm saying? So the 40 acres in a mule, that wasn't coming. We had to get that ourselves.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But when we got it, we appreciated it and we really tilled the ground. We worked that ground. We really, took care of the
yeah,
chickens and the goats and like that gotta be normal being able to be able to fend for ourselves, bro.
yeah.
At the end of the day, we
Building
gotta
that,
be able to fend. But to say this, and I love that what you just said. But the thing is this, bro, is another reason why I wrote the book, bro, is because if we don't change our thinking first, we'll never get to that point.
yeah.
Your
It
thinking
starts with
got to
the
change
mindset.
first.
It starts with the
You know
mindset.
what I'm saying? The mindset got to start first. If you once you change the thinking, then I can open up your mind to some of the. It might be my conversation within those papers that I wrote within those, in that book. But at the same time, it's gonna make you think outside. Well, dang, I ain't never look at it like that.
Yeah,
But okay, now I see it in this way. But even if you see it in a different way than what I said made you think in a different way than what you've been thinking. So that's the first part of it, thinking differently. And then
critical.
once you think differently,
Yeah,
you can go to a different level with it. You know what I'm saying?
no,
And that's how it got to go, bro.
no, that's for sure. We definitely got to raise our critical thinking skills, and that's what
Right.
the my I got a show that's coming out that I think gonna be it's gonna be a little controversial, but it shouldn't be. But I know it is because I know my people. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. Right. Right.
but it's and it's not. I'm gonna be putting on every episode a disclaimer that I'm not here to tell you that I'm right and I'm the end all be all. That show
Right.
gonna be strictly to raise the conversation publicly that I have all the time privately. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
talk
Right.
about. So the first episode we're gonna, and I know it's gonna catch on in a good and a bad way because I know my people when you play with church and you
Mhm.
play with certain things, they coming for you, right?
Right.
So the first episode, and it's called Black Family Kitchen Table Talk. So it's gonna be
Okay.
we're gonna have a kitchen table set up, and I'm just gonna be having different people that I have come in, but we're gonna be sitting at the table like a black family, just talking about different issues, right?
Okay.
So the first episode is gonna be what's more detrimental to our community, the preacher or the
Right.
street guy.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna be that's
And
gonna
I
be
know,
a
and
deep topic, brother.
99% of us gonna say the street guys is more detrimental to our community, right? So that's when I'm gonna just raise my not to say like I say not to say I'm right, but we finna have this
Yeah.
conversation because I can tell you what I know the street guys that what they do for the community, and I can show you I know a lot of preachers that don't do nothing for the community,
Nothing. Right.
but
Right.
through the
Hmm.
community eye, since they preach, they're a better
Hmm.
person,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
some well, I often say go to work and go to church, but some don't even go.
You still there? That's based off the shell, though, man. What happened, fam? You still there? He froze up on me. Got some technical difficulties. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, let's see.
That's weird stuff going
Okay.
on, bro.
I know, bro. You know, when these type
I'm
of
talking about
like I said,
my computer
bro,
just like literally just went off, like literally. I had to
bro, listen.
unplug it and plug it back up, then it popped in.
It's the algorithm, bro. I'm telling you, sometimes the energy, like man, them bad spirits trying to catch all the good stuff. They trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, she talking about put the hat out.
No,
She talking
no,
about is it
no,
how you
no,
say it?
young lady. The cat ain't. This hat it says it's from my little logo.
She thought
It's
she was repping
hood.
that A
It's
town.
hood. Nah, it's all good. That's all I listen to is A-Town music. But it's hood
Yeah,
meritocracy. That's what it
yeah.
is. It's hood meritocracy. And since you mentioned that, and we on what we talking about, the topic that we on, hood meritocracy is like hood talent, hood gifts. And the reason I was inspired to even do this right here, you know what I'm saying? I got other stuff that I got with this hats and you know what I'm saying, is because
I like
we
that.
have to remember, like we got to remind each other, even in the hood, like the most talent, the most gifted people are in the neighborhoods that no one don't recognize. They pushed in the neighborhoods, and if you think about a lot of people getting it out the dirt, even some of the millionaires today, they started in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to tap into our hood gifts and our hood talents, man. So once
And we
we
gotta
get we got to get them to tap into their meritocracy, man. And
yeah.
once they do that, they're gonna be ready to go to the next level.
And we got to learn how to have business and organizations and different systems where we can hold on to it. Because a lot of our
Right,
talent, a lot of our talent that come from the hood, the system grab them and pay them because we ain't got no system to pay them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
so
right, right,
that's on
right,
another deeper level. On we say, well, we don't want you to go quote unquote sell out, which whatever, but that's just the term we
right.
use. But
Hmm.
if I got all these talents, if I'm a great engineer, if I'm a great this, if I'm a great that, where in our
Yeah,
community can I eat off that from? Where you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
We
that's
got to
what I'm
create
saying.
spaces for that. We got within
We
our
have to
community
build it.
where we can
Yeah,
keep it in the community. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something we have to do. Nobody else can do that. And that's what I'm always
Right,
talking about
right.
as men, what we got to do as men. I'm not even talking about the women right now. I'm talking about as men.
Hmm.
We have to bring these
Right.
industries. We have to bring these opportunities. Our women need to know that, man, we got black men out here. They got resource centers. We got black men out here. They got
Hmm.
this. You know what I'm saying? They can
Right,
hire us.
right.
That we can go get a job from them. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
we got to build that, or it's gonna be the same old, same old. And that's why a lot of people
Right.
are like,
Yep.
I would
Yep.
be a lot more popular because I'm cool with a lot of people, right? On the surface, because I
Right.
don't really have a problem with nobody. Because, like I say, my fight is against a system. So I don't like even if we don't
Right.
see
Right.
even if we don't see eye to eye, I don't have no problem with you personally because
Right.
you're one
Right.
person. I'm talking about a system. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Hmm.
we have to understand that if I want to be popular, I wouldn't have the impact, right? Like
That's
if
true.
I want to
Yeah.
get a lot of money from churches and stuff around here
Hmm.
from what I do, all I have to
Hmm.
do is start making this more religious and pass out Bibles.
Hmm.
And that,
Right.
not to say that that's bad, right? But in our
Right.
community,
Right.
in our community, I have seen that, and I haven't seen it
Hmm.
do nothing for our community, right?
Yeah.
And not saying that
Hmm.
churches, and in that first episode I was talking about, I'm not going to be going at church. I don't want nobody to think I'm like
Right.
dissing church because I respect
Hmm.
whatever makes you a better person. I respect it. I'm
Right.
I'm
Right.
only talking about mindsets because your mindset tells you
Hmm.
that the guy in the streets is worse than the preacher. That's what our
Hmm.
mindset tell us. So I'm
Hmm.
not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying I'm going against the society norm of automatically, oh yeah, the
Hmm.
street guy's worse. You know what I'm saying?
But
So that's
that's a judgmental. But that's coming from a judgmental standpoint when they do that. You know, and I'm like you said, I'm not knocking the churches either. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But I feel like when you say, "La, we gotta stay away from them," they sinners, or we gotta stay away from them because the way they live in their life ain't right. But you know, it don't make sense to keep on like communicating and like trying to help elevate the people around you that's already seeing it from a positive standpoint when you got people out there their whole life, all they see was negative.
yeah,
So how do we go get them? Them the ones we gotta go get. So if because I'm not stepping in your church every day, or you know, I'm not dressing the way you feel I should dress, or you know, anything of that, I feel like that's a judgmental standpoint because them the people that might need the help the most. And then when you go get them people, you don't know who they can help.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and
So just like guys like me and you, when we seeing it from the standpoint, we seeing it from like the I think the streets is the place that people need to be reached more than anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If I go in the church building, people in there, they praising and hallelujah and all that stuff. That's all good, fine, and dandy. But what about the man on the corner you just walk past that might be a veteran that just damn near gave his life for this country, and he might not know how to get back to who he really was. If I go talk to him and uplift him, I don't know what he might turn out to be for the community. He might be another community activist that we need. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like it go that deep. Like
You
we
know,
don't know who we
it go
passing
real
up.
deep. It go real deep, and part of my I ain't gonna say argument, but part of what I'm gonna be presenting is a lot of those street guys that you think is worse off than that's a worse person than a preacher
Right,
came from super religious homes. Don't nobody
right.
ever want I would say 90%, 95% of the of my partners that's in the penitentiary come from a super religious background. Super
Hmm.
religious. You know what I'm
Daddies
saying?
was pastors and that type of stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
my
saying?
mama had
Yeah,
you in church
yeah,
3-4 times a week and everything, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
and And what people will say is on the surface, well, you didn't stay in church, so that's why you end up in a penitentiary. That's the easy thing to say, right? Well, you
Right.
went away from the Lord, so you ended up in the penitentiary. That's what most people will say. If your mama in church and you end up in jail, the first thing you hear people say, well, you went away from the Lord, so you ended up there. Most people won't even think about, it ain't about they stopped going to church and that's why they end up in the prison. It's about that mama was feeding me nothing but church and she didn't teach me how to survive in this white man world.
There you go.
Mama had me in church every day, but mama didn't tell me, even if I got good grades and stayed out of trouble, that I'm a black man and I'm still subject to not even get that good paying job or I go, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we have a lot of kids that's confused, lost in a world that all you gave them was religion all your life, but you didn't prepare them none for real life. That's in a lot of black households right now. A lot of black households, they probably can tell you everything about church. Can't tell you nothing about surviving. Can't tell you nothing about building. Can't tell you nothing about a bank account. Can't tell you nothing about investing. Can't tell you nothing else, but they can tell you everything in that Bible. So how am I making in this world if all I know is this Bible? How?
Right. It's like they putting they raising their kids to put their whole life dependency in a book. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this, man. You know, it's okay to read. You know, we know that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I know it's okay to read. We gotta read, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get that word. We know we gotta get whatever wisdom and knowledge that's out here for us to get. But at the same time, like, you know, we gotta be able to be open to growing, open to seeing things from different aspects and point of views as well. If we trying to strive and, you know, really make a difference in what our community need and make a difference in what our kids are seeing. Because if we keep our kids boxed in with one mind state, with one way of seeing things and one point of view, they never gonna see outside the box. We got to open their mind to that. So, you know, that's just where I feel like we need to be. That's where I feel like we need to be. We need to be in a space to where we can allow, first of all, we have to allow our children to think for themselves. They have to think for themselves. We can't be constantly looking at it from a perspective of when we raising our kids to be just like us. We got to raise our kids to be better than us and to think for themselves, have their own mind, you know, have their own level of understanding. You know what I mean? And I think that's where it starts from that standpoint. That's where we have to start at. We have to start at allowing our kids to see the big picture and stop being scared to tell them the truth about what's really going on out here. Stop being scared to tell them the truth about what to look out for, and stop making them feel like that they're so sheltered. Stop making them feel sheltered and pampered on every situation in life, when we know when they get out there in the real world, they're gonna have a lot of things they're gonna deal with, and it's gonna be rough for them. And we have to be the ones to give them the tools to be able to operate in the world that we're dealing with. And from that standpoint, I think that's what we got to be with. That's what we got to go with. I think he disappeared on me. Y'all, where he at?
Nah, I ain't disappear.
There you go.
This had some water going, and it's overflowing in there.
Oh, okay, man. Already.
But I know I had you over the hour, man. So like, we gotta have to come back next time. We got to be more prepared, because that first one, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it. I don't know if I can keep it or not. But I definitely let everybody know where they can find you. Let them know about the Tapped In, where they can subscribe to the YouTube page. Just let us know about all the information and where we can find the book. You know what I'm saying? Everything.
Yes, sir. Y'all can find the book on Amazon.com. The book is titled "Don't Think Like Me, Just Think." You ain't gonna miss it. You're gonna see the crown and the brain. You're gonna see the brain with the crown on it. Yeah. The brain represent the the mind, knowledge, and the crown represent the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So, it all means something. Also, y'all need to tap into the podcast, go on YouTube, all main media sites, you know what I'm saying? Apple, all that you can find the Tapped In podcast. Is TAPP apostrophe D. Tapped In podcast, and you'll find us on there. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, I appreciate you inviting me on, man. And this was a good conversation, man. We can definitely do this again, man.
Yeah, we
Definitely
definitely
will
need
do
to
it
run
again.
it back. I think we need to do it. I think we need to start like a little like a youth version where we just come in here and just talk about the youth, the different things, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So that's something we can just talk about and just do it maybe once a month, every a couple times a month, you know what I'm saying? Just to have a
Yeah.
youth segment, like a youth
Right,
segment.
right,
We talk about maybe some things we might, we going through personally, fighting for or whatever,
right,
just something about
right.
the youth, you know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that.
Already.
I appreciate you coming in. I'm glad we finally, connected it. We went through a
Yeah,
lot.
you already know.
Even after all the
Yeah,
months that it took to get to this point, then today we didn't
yeah,
had to go out twice, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But this,
yeah,
but this is what we do.
yeah.
We whatever we
It
face
was
with, we
destined.
navigate. The homie
It was
Van, what's up,
destined,
man?
man.
Man, I'm gonna have to call you today, man, because we gotta tap back in
Yeah,
too. No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. I
yeah.
appreciate everybody jumping in. Amazing, beautiful. Make sure you hit me in the inbox. Let's chop it up. Bam, salute. You know what I'm saying? Van and everybody else that tapped in and we're gonna tap in later, man. I appreciate y'all checking in. CEO Youth League.
Man, bountiful. Peace.